Have you ever just looked up at the night sky and felt completely amazed? Well, today we're diving into a song that captures that exact feeling, Psalm 8. It's a powerful journey that starts with the massive scale of the universe and brings it all the way down to a really personal question about you and me.
Right from the very first line, this psalm just explodes with praise. It's not a quiet whisper, it's a huge declaration. The author, David, looks at the heavens and he's just blown away by God's glory. And this one verse, right here, it sets the stage for everything we're about to explore.
So where does the psalm start? It points us outside. It shows us how everything we see, all of creation, is basically this giant signpost. It's all pointing to a God who is incredibly mighty and incredibly wise. So you gotta ask, right? How does it actually do that? It's one thing to say creation is beautiful, but what does that beauty and power really tell us about the one who made it all? Well, the Psalms gives us some amazing examples.
And this is where it gets so cool. Check out this contrast. On the one hand, you've got the stars, silent, massive, just overwhelming in their glory. They shout God's greatness on a scale we can't even really wrap our minds around. But then, the psalm brings the focus way, way down, to something as simple and, you might think, as weak as the cries of little children. And it says that even there, God shows his strength. It's this profound idea that God's glory isn't just in the huge and the powerful, but it's also seen perfectly in the small and the humble.
So what's the big takeaway from all this? When you see this glory everywhere, from distant galaxies down to a baby's room, it's all a reminder of one fundamental truth. God is in control. He is on the throne, ruling over everything. And that realization really only leads to one possible response. He alone is worthy of our worship. Okay, so just as we're wrapping our minds around this cosmic scale of God's glory, the psalmist does something amazing. It pivots. It zooms in from the entire universe to one single person and asks a question that is deeply, deeply human.
After thinking about the moon and the stars, David asks this, and have you ever felt this? You're standing outside at night, looking up at all those stars, and all of a sudden, you just feel tiny, maybe even a little insignificant. That's exactly the feeling he's capturing here. He's asking, with all of this going on, why in the world would you, the creator of everything, even give me a second thought?
It's a question that just kind of hangs there in the air, you know? It's full of awe, maybe even a little bit of doubt. But the good news is, the psalm does not leave us there feeling small, not at all. In fact, it gives a stunning answer.
And here it is, the incredible difference in perspective. From our point of view, yeah, it's easy to feel tiny, weak, maybe insignificant, but that is not how God sees it. From God's perspective, he looks at humanity and crowns us with glory and honor. He gives us a massive purpose, to act as his representatives, to reflect his image, and to care for his creation. We might feel small, but in God's eyes, we have been given incredible value and a huge responsibility.
And this is just so important to let sink in. Our value, our worth, it's not something we earn. It's not based on our resume or our accomplishments. It's a gift. It's rooted in the simple fact that God made us, that he loves us. And ultimately, that value was proven and paid for when he gave his son Jesus for us. Our worth isn't based on what we do, it's based on what he has done.
Okay, so this is all amazing to think about. But what do we do with it? How does knowing about God's majesty and our own God-given value actually change how we live on, say, a random Tuesday? Well, the psalmist points us toward a life filled with wonder. It really boils down to three practical things. First, build your life on the right foundation. Base your sense of self-worth on what Jesus did for you because that never changes. Second, since you're made in God's image, use your gifts, whatever they are, to reflect who he is to the world around you. And third, just slow down. Take the time to actually notice creation and let it lead you to thankfulness. So when you put it all together, God's mind-bending majesty out there in the universe and the incredible honor he gives to us right here, what's the ultimate response? It's really simple. Give God glory. That's the whole point. A life that's recentered around worship.
And that brings us right back to where we started. The psalm ends with the exact same words it began with. It's like a chorus. But now, after everything we've considered, the heavens, our own smallness, our God-given honor, these words just hit differently. They're deeper. Lord, our Lord, how majestic is your name in all the earth.
So I'll leave you with this to think about. If you really, truly believed deep down that the creator of the universe has crowned you with glory and honor, how would that change things? How would you face your challenges tomorrow? How would you treat the people you meet? It's a game-changing question. Thanks for digging into this with us.